Morning, all of you. Good morning. This is Shankar, live from Dubai, courtesy Capital College. I'd like to start the webinar. Thank you to Sanjay and the team of Capital. Because of their courtesy, we could have a webinar wherein this topic was selected based on a lot of survey and a lot of interaction between various leaders which Capital Group has assigned. So we had a lot of brainstorming and we arrived at this topic looking at the market conditions and what is the way forward for the business. So a big thanks to Sanjay and his team for organizing this webinar, wherein we are trying to bring in how this post-COVID situation will evolve and what are the challenges each of us are going to face. As far as individuals are concerned, the mindset has to change, the way we work has to change, the way we look for at our business has to change. And now the difference between a small company, a medium company, and a large multinational company, the difference may be in terms of volume or transaction, may be big or small, but the way they have to adopt is something which is very, very different from the conventional practice and methods which we have used to do it when we were before COVID. Yeah. So first of all, thank you all for joining me. It has been a very successful webinar. I've seen a great response. A lot of people are joining us. More than about 200 people are in the group. So it's a pleasure to talk to you all. So you could share your views on this webinar, and with a permission, I'm sure if we have some topics and some genuine concerns or we have some ideas, we could always share it with Capital College. Using them, we could also have similar webinar in future. Yeah. So I'll start my webinar with the first point is the change ahead in business. So you could go through the screens. I have compiled all these details based on various research reports, and I have used authentic data and information from the industry leaders for us to arrive at some conclusion at the end of the webinar. So let us keep this webinar as interactive. So I know all of us cannot ask question at one time. So probably what we could do is we could go through the presentations and we could have a questionnaire sessions. Either you can send the questionnaires or you could put it in the chat board and we could answer it back. And I will also like to share the presentations. If it is of use to you, you could also use it to set standards for your organizations. As you for the people who don't know me, I've been in the industry for the last 30 years. 2020 has been a special year for me. It's my 30 years of service in the industry. It has been my 25 years of marriage, and it is a 27 years I completed in UAE. So it was a milestone year, and also my 25th wedding anniversary is also on 2020. So it is for something which is for celebrations. Unfortunately, with the post-COVID, the whole scenario has changed. So I cannot forget any of my achievements, including COVID. Yeah. On a lighter note, I'm wish all are safe, be safe, take the precautions, take the lockdown, keep the social distance. I think this is going to be a new norm for all of us. Some of us who may feel this last 40 days has been like life in cage. Yeah. We must be feeling that we have been caged unnecessarily. We've been put into pressure. Is this the only way? The answer so far proved in the world, social distance is the only way we can keep away from this epidemic. Yeah, pandemic. So let's start this. I want you to look at these pictures. If you look at these pictures, the world is post-COVID going to look totally different. I would like to bring in a new synergy into this conversations. Now, post-COVID, we will have two types of industries. One is called sunrise industries and one is called sunset industries. So you need to know where your company is or where your industry is going to be. Is it going to be a sunrise industry or a sunset industry? And based on that, you need to make your decisions. Is this the right time to be in the business? Am I need to continue in my business? Is my business gives me enough so that I can survive and grow? So a lot of decisions will be made based on where your standings are currently and post COVID. uh, Work from home is going to be the new norm. It's for many reasons. One is when the cost is going to be deducted, reduction will be there, cost drivers will be used. So one of the area is to reduce the fixed cost. All the fixed cost needs to be converted into variable cost. We need to think about terminologies like redesign. If you don't do the redesign, we need to repair ourselves. We need to realign to the new realities. So the change is everything needs to be redesigned to the new need of the hour. Take your office everywhere, which means mobile working. We maybe need to work in coffee shops, co-working space will replace with the office space. Digital. For friends who are from the freight and logistic industry, we will have a great mind shift, similar to the travel agency gone through 10 years back, moving from a conventional travel agency to the online portal. We may also have the similar experiences that some of us needs to move from a conventional freight forwarder to the digital freight forwarding space. So the future is digital. Okay, now these are the new norms of the future. The Forbes and the S&P Fortune 500 companies have said that 75% of the company is going to disappear from the current spaces by 2025. Companies which we have heard about it, they name some of the names which were household names, may not exist in the space post COVID. So this is going to be a big statement. It that 75% of the companies going to disappear from the current space by 2025, and 50% of the future company is still not started, which gives a big hope for all of us that yes, there is going to be hope at the end of the tunnel. There are 50% future companies going to start. Can we be part of that, those companies? So that's a good hope which we can have it. 2 billion job going to disappear by 2030 from the industry like coal, power, transport, repairing, major industry. All this high labor industry will be replaced by artificial intelligence, mechanical, mechanization, automations. All this will take over the industry. So there will be 2 billion jobs will disappear. So some of us may not be finding our jobs. Do not need to worry, because we are part of the 2 billion. Yeah, some of us may be, I was an ex general manager, I was an ex CEO. So the word ex, we should get used to it. So that's the future. 85% of the jobs in 2030 still not born, which means the skill set for those jobs are not identified. We do not know at this moment what are those jobs, what are those companies which require people. So the new generation will be needs to first figure out how they are going to adapt and educate themselves to the new requirement, so that they fall in the 85% of the jobs in 2030 which is going to come up. Education and skill is yet to be decided. So gone are the days where an highly educated can guarantee a job. The need of the future could be much different. So the approach is education to employment. So we were talking about terminologies like B2C, B2B. Now we will start hearing a word called education to employment, E to E. So there will be a new mind shift, education to employment. So join in courses, do businesses, or do work in industry where the education and skills which you learn can convert into employment. And this is said by Michael Dell. Adopt technology. That's the future. We have no choices. We have to adopt technology. Understand customer. Gone are the days we talk about customer service, customer enhancement, and all those. Now we need to talk about understand customers. You need to walk with the customer, understand what he needs. That's the trend which we need to do. Find the touch point. You need to understand from customers what are his touch points, what he needs mostly, why he cannot live without you. Or if you are able to find out his touch point, the chances that you retain the customer and grow with the business. Networking is oxygen. People who do not are shy person, are not involved in networking, cannot speak to people, cannot stay with the headphone for a longer time, is here for a shock. You need to network, you need to communicate, you need to understand the pulse of the customer all the time, so that he makes the right decision and you are part of the decision. So networking is an art which you need to embrace. I would like to divide the people into three categories. There will be three types of people. One is called ocean mentality. Now, these people with the ocean mentality, these are highly qualified people from the best of B schools, who are well qualified, who takes decision on a holistic approach and based on their education. Now, these people will find a different skill set, and they will find a different type of employment or entrepreneurship. So these are people with ocean mentality. Some of us will be of the mentality called marshy lake, where a little bit of everything. We know something of everything. A little technology, little hard work, little soft skills, little salesmanship, a little of communication, all that. So these are marshy lake people. These people have little bit of everything, which will again will be a skill set and requirement for certain industry where we will fit to it. So that is our area. The third type of people is called well people. A dig a well for your own. That means these are the companies and people who will set things with a lot of research and skills, hire the right people, create their own wells so that they are here to stay for a longer time. These are called the big companies, or the companies of the future, or we can say the companies of choice. So you either be a ocean type, or a marshy lake type, or a well. So start building your well. If you need to stay long, stay fit, and stay healthy, will build your well. Water is going to be the next huge resources. So whether it's in business, you need a well, which means a long-term, well-planned, well-groomed, researched company, or a well for yourself, so that your water requirements are taken care. Then interestingly, we have found there are three types of mentality. People in the post COVID will have needs to adapt the three mentalities. One is called the hunter mentality. The hunter mentality is the one who goes with a wave and goes to hunt, get any type of it. The point of a salesman is, I need to get the business by hook or crook. I don't care margins, I don't care the volumes, but I need to get the business. So his approach will be hunter. So he goes behind the business at any shot till he gets his target. He keeps working on it. So that will be the hunter mentality, which will be going for getting business at any cost. A planter mentality will be someone who puts up seeds and wait for the crops to come, or put the seeds, do the probing, work with the customer, closely interact, and wait for the business to come back. So it could be a planter mentality. And the last but not the least is a farmer mentality, who will fertile the land, put the soil, put the seeds, water the plant, nourish the plant, and allow to make it a tree or a plant. So a farmer, which is a long-term process, which which will be applicable in the industry like farming, heavy industries, manufacturing, pharmaceuticals. All these companies will have to put what will be the need of the hour, what will be the future requirement. So they will have to put the right seed, employ the right people, and grow with it, so that they build up companies which are like a farmer based company. So these are the three mentalities: hunter mentality, planter mentality, or farmer mentality. So you have to decide which one suits you most. Yeah, but there's nothing like right or wrong. You can select the options. Now, this is a market research based on the intelligence report. These are the industries which are high risk industry: gems and jewelry, shipping industry, textile, metals, auto and OEM suppliers, aviation industries, seafood, luxury real estate, hotels. These are the red zones. These are industries are going to take a longer time to come back, and we don't know what scale it will come back, what shape it will come back, and is it going to employ so many people? Are they going to current companies going to survive? How many ships will be in the sea and how many ships will be in the dock? We don't know. Hotels will be there. but do they have occupancy? Can they survive on the occupancy levels? All that is going to be questioned. So the industry which is showing on the red are the industries where the demand and supply for post-COVID will be very slow or very negligible. So the revival time for these companies may be is slotted to between 12 to 18 months, and some of the industry may not come back. So that's something which we need to caution about it. Media here to stay. The social media will take over the conventional print media. Paper based will be moved to the desk or app based. Pharma, there will be a big opening of pharma because post COVID people have learned and realized that the too much dependence on China for bulk medicine creates a problem for all the countries. So a lot of bulk pharma and medicines will start coming in place. So please look at pharma industry. That's a future business. Oil and gas, again, for the temporary pause, it will slow down. The expectation of oil prices are that between 2020 and 2021, it's not going to be much different. It is between $25 to $30 is what is expected, and there can be times when it can even go to the negative, as we have seen in the during the COVID. Yeah, so oil, it's going to be highly fluctuating, and most of the oil companies are also started thinking that their existence in future is going to be challenged. So these companies are moving from oil companies to energy companies. So the new buzzword for oil field is energy companies. So there will be a lot of energy companies generating come out from the oil companies. Yeah. Then we have chemicals here to stay, but we don't know what sort of a chemical, disinfection chemicals and cleaning chemicals. All those has a high scope. Banks here to stay. We know finance is required, money will be required. So banks and financial instrument will say, but their way of adoption will be different. The way of getting loans will be different. The way they will be financing will be different. There will be financing based on mortgage. There will be financing based on your assets. So these type of innovative financing needs will come up. So I'm sure in our group, we have a lot of bankers. They will come out with new innovative ideas, so that because for the bank, the infrastructure cost, the branches and the tellers will be replaced by machines. So they will save a lot of cost on the infrastructure and creating the banks, but that will be compensated by offering better deals for the customers online and another way of evaluations. So a lot of banking changes are expected in the coming days. FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, is here to stay. It's a stable business. It's going to grow. People will start buying it. IT services, again, whichever need based, service based will here to stay. Education will be here to stay, but the skill set and requirement will change. Children will not be carrying the huge bags. They will be working from the laptops and tablets. So that's going to be the future trend. Okay, now post-COVID, these are the economic patterns. The economy can shift into three ways. Either it could be a V-shaped economy, a U-shaped economy, and an L-shaped economy. As you all know, a V-shaped economy is post-COVID. For some days, people will realize, okay, that's over and done with it. Now let's proceed. Provided the spread of virus is limited, then the economy is expected to go in a V-shaped economy, going slowly of some of the major industries. If it's an U shape, no, there will be ups and downs whereby the epidemic may come back, the viruses may come and go. So in that case, the recovery will be slower. So we are expecting an U shape economy. I believe and hope we do not end up in an L shape economy. L shape economy is nothing but the economy going to be flattened out, a lot of unemployment, unrest. Companies may not come up with new ideas. The investments will be reduced. So which will lead to another scenario, which is a depression, like similar to the 1913 Great Depression. At this moment, experts in the world do not foresee at least a depression stage. Most of them are expecting a V-shape or a U-shape economy is what has been expert opinion is. All depends on the quickness of finding the virus, the vaccine, and controlling these viruses and making sure that these type of things do not repeat. So there is some disciplines established. So we can all expect a recession to continue, but hope it is not converted into a depression. Now, world economy was predicted at 3.3% growth. Then post April, they said it's going to be 2.4. and nowadays even it has come down to negative. But if it goes below 0.30, that is when the experts expect that it will be leading to a depression. So I hope we don't reach that. Countries may go down on the growth. There may not be growth for many countries, but at least it is an understood thing because of the pandemic, there is a depression. Customer attitude post COVID is going to be a very, very different one, which people needs to understand. Anything that I can live without, I will live without that. So people are not going to buy things the way they used to buy. So if I can live without something, I will rather go with that. So that's going to be, if I can go to a party without a new suit, I will live without a new suit. I can go to a party in an Uber instead of having a flashy car, I will do that. I can avoid a travel, I will do that. Can I do my business meeting on a web? I will, if I can, I will do that. So that's going to be the mindset of people post COVID. So be ready for those mind shift. New changes to adopt in our thinking is world has changed from ever social distance. So we were looking at closeness. Now we are moving towards social distance. The most and the important buzzword which we need to do, which we have to add in our vocabulary and dictionary is adoption. Currently, there is nothing like past experiences, nothing like the old recipe, nothing. You have to adapt to the new technology. So the buzzword is adoption. The quick to change, people will survive. There is nothing like wait and watch. It is called quick to change. So are you ready to change? You adapt to that. You are there in the future. Survival of the fittest is gone. It's going to be survival of the quickest, the one who can quickly adapt and survive. So the survival of the quickest will stay in the business and work in the business. So it's going to be survival of the quickest. 45 million jobs have already gone ever since the COVID has come. So which means whoever is smart, whoever is swift, and who is quick to adopt with packages and the offer is what going to get it. Be an entrepreneur. Be an entrepreneur. That's the buzzword. No more jobs. Everything is going to be app based, application based, small businesses and all. So it's going to be an entrepreneur oriented generation. So be an entrepreneur. So everybody is an entrepreneur. That's going to be the way forward. Ego correction by nature. That's how you find that today the pollution levels are low. All the zoos are very nice. Animals are started coming into the streets. People are inside their house. Animals are on the streets. And nature is showing a clean nature. All that is because of the corrections which has happened by the COVID. Health is wealth. We all realize it. Today, money is there. If you have health, money is there. So health is wealth. Now, the changes we need to adopt are as follows. One is called riding the wave. Gone are the time with ride against. We have to go with the wave. The current wave is to minimize cost and budget. So riding with the wave is what the trend should adopt. Start growing your influences. Get yourself participate in Webnair. Create your networking space. Be in the YouTube. Be in the Facebook. Create your influencer group, because these are the people who are going to follow you and who are going to make your decisions or who are going to be your customers. So be an influencer if you need to survive. Acquire new skills for the digital world. Start building multiple stream of income. You cannot survive just with your salaries or just with your business earnings alone. You need to invest somewhere. You need to get involved in so many activities. So you need to get multiple income to survive in future, because gone are the 8 to 5 jobs. Or you work and you will get 20 years, 25 years, pensions, dole, and all those things are going to change. So it's going to change. So accept it. Expect the unexpected, which we all realized till February. Nobody had a clue, and we expected the most unexpected, and we have seen the difference. Some of the industries, I'll just go through it. Growth oriented industries which are going to stay and going to survive are the digital product, that is virtual reality and augmented reality. Gig economy like Uber, Airbnb, non-asset based businesses will survive. Stock market, it's a right time to invest. Look at some new trendy companies, gaming companies, companies which are into pharma, and all those tips, so that you can make money. This is a time to invest. Then home gardening, Hydroponics is the in thing. People will start having their own vegetables and fruits grown in their terraces and balconies. That's healthy as well as cost saving. So that is something which you need to think. Those industries will do well. On online coaching and teaching will, all this Baiju and many other apps will survive and grow. Mental health, spiritual health will be the talk of the town. People needs to, post COVID, people needs to get themselves mentally fit to accept the shocks and go on with the new life. It may not be the late night parties. It may not be the flowery fashioned things, malls full with people, fashion trends. Everything is going to change. So adopt to the thing and mentally prepare yourself. The mental health is going to be the future major concerns post COVID. Spiritual health, people are now started becoming doing meditation, vastu, tarot. All those businesses will do well. Alternative energy like solar, wind, eco-friendly, cyber security will do well. Insurance sector is going to boom. Health, business risk, alternate medicines will do well. Fear products like soaps, sanitizers, gloves, masks, these business will do well. Beauty technology, okay, people will be looking for grooming themselves, looking better, looking in better shapes. So industries like Capital College having fashion designing courses and fashion programs will be the future. So a lot of fashion related products and services will do well. uh, Gaming industries, app development will do well. Biotech, medical drugs and bulk drugs will do well. Network and content marketing, which will do very well. When you do something on Facebook, Facebook is capturing your content and they will be marketing the data and the content. So that's going to be a huge business. Content marketing will do very well. Data science, which will do very well. Food industry, more healthy products and food will be in demand. Entertainment influencers, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all here to stay, and they will be the new norms of marketing, media, and publications. They will do well. Environment, green energies will do very well. Elder care, home nurse, home care, this is something which is going to do extremely well. We have seen in Italy and Spain, the majority of the people who died are from the old age home and elderly care homes. Now this has started making a big change in the mindsets of the people from Europe, because the aging populations and the older people are vulnerable when there is something like this. So how are we going to protect, and our life is going at old age, how we are going to take care? This is going to be a huge industry and a lot of things. Home nurse, Europe alone requires 300 home care persons post COVID. So this is something which is an industry which to watch out. Trends in and better industry, trendsetter industries will be anything to do with e-based business, e-commerce, e-learning, e-meeting, e-freight forwarding, e-logistics, e-entertainment like Netflix, Amazon Prime, e-technology companies, automation companies. These are the companies. So now people in Hindi, they say uh, from Bhagwan to Ishwar. So now everything is going to be Ishwar, e-based, everything, e-commerce, e-technology. So this is the trend things and the industries which will do well. Startup companies are going to do very well. Innovation companies, service B2C will do well. Finance and tech companies which are involved in blockchain and all those technical payments platforms like PayPal and all that, going to do extremely well. Last mile delivery services for logistics is going to do very well. E-commerce will cannot work without e-logistics. Food distribution, again, affordable, healthy food distribution will be the norm. People will avoid small and shady restaurants. So that business will move towards food distribution. So takeaways will be more. So that will be a good industry to be there. Board game, gone are the days where you sit for a board meetings. It's going to be board games. A lot of board gaming centers and board games will be popular, whereby you learn business as well as network. There are cafes who currently also have these board games. So some of us who are not familiar with these board games, it's good time that we should start getting involved in these board games. It's very interesting. It also teaches us new skills and business practices. The conventional old monopoly is now replaced as board games. So there are a lot of things we can learn from it. Consultancy will do very well. Consultancy, as I mean, is half knowledge or learning from books and adoption. No, that's not the consultancy. You need to walk with the customer, understand the market, educate the customer, explore the customer, and take decisions for the customer. So you need to be a part of a customer. those type of consultancies are here to stay, and that is something which is a future. A lot of products and services will be outsourced, like finance, payroll, HR, transport services, asset-based services, all will be outsourced. So there is an outsourcing business which will do well. Then talent connect, wherever you can identify talent, groom the talent, and you can sell talent as a commodity. Future skilled workers will be a huge potential. So talent connect is another industry which will do very well. Finally, industry which will get affected, which most of you know, job market, the revenue, there's not going to be any revenue. There's going to be huge loss of job all over the world. We have seen the statistics in US, Europe. There's an unemployment rate is sky high. In India, it's going to be a huge, exceptional task of keeping people employed. IT and other industries which will have a lot of retrenchment. Major companies have already announced big retrenchment packages. Retail shopping malls will affect. Travel airlines, cruise will take longer time, because in airline, one of the major factor is post-COVID, because of social distance, 1/3 of the aircraft space has to be kept ideal. So with the current volume, low volume, can the business afford such aircraft? Aircraft can have half passenger and run it and economical. That's going to be the challenge. So that's the reason why airline industries are going to take a longer time to recoup. Anything between 14 to 18 months is what they are expecting the business to come back. Then you have automotive industry, jewelry industries, high-end jewelries, furnishing industries, fittings, cinema, logistics, warehousing, documentations, all that will be under pressure. Small shops and non-essential services will be under pressures. That will not do well. And restaurant business is again not going to do well. Luxury goods, live sports will be under pressure. Live sports, events like IPL, football matches, all going to be under pressure. Real estate, luxury real estate is going to be under pressure. Construction industry, which is again going to be under pressure. There won't be a mass scale construction. There will be limited construction, and what unfilled construction will complete. So that will means a lot of floating population will reduce. This will have an impact on all the other industries like furnishing, real estate, tourism, travel, all will get affected because there won't be much of floating populations. So that's something which all of us has to do. So from these outlook, we as logistic people, company people who are working in the logistics industry, what we need to understand is it's not necessary the logistics business will come down because of the rates or the services. It's because the industry which we were getting businesses are going to go down. So there will be a knock-on effect from that. So we need to understand which are the industries which is going to give us business. So the volumes will reduce, margins will reduce, and then it will be technology challenges. So if you can withstand all these things, you are a winner. So that's why you need to adapt to the new requirement. As far as the freight and logistic business is concerned, the aircrafts are now converted into cargo airlines. You can see all the airlines are using the 777 flights for taking passenger, instead of passenger, they are putting cargo in the seats and moving flights, because that's the only way to keep the movement, because not many freighters are available with each airlines. So airlines are using in the short run this, but this may not be a viable because the cost is 3 times higher, but this is one way to keep the fleets moving. And if you look at, I've listed out the industry wise, air freight will have a demand, but the premium will be high and not everybody can afford. Sea freight, the volumes will go down and prices will increase, and the port of call will change. Not many ships will come so frequently. So there is number of ships going to come for calls will be less. So there will be changes. Trucks will have their own challenges. There will be Uber based trucks, like type of trucks. So there will be trucking company. Project cargo, there's not going to be any major project announced by the governments in soon. So that will have an impact on the project cargo businesses. Retail and luxury will go down. Pharma will do better. Chartering and bulk, again, depends on projects and constructions. So that will have its impact. So these are some of the risk, volume versus demand. You can see it in the presentation. Now, rules which we need to adopt for the future is, one is adaptability, readjust instead of wait and watch. Assumption to build a collection will be delayed. Customer will ask for discount and deduction. Delay in payment is to be an expected norm. Expansion to be reevaluated. Doubtful debts is going to be there. People will not pay you what is the invoices of post COVID. So some of the bills you think will go bad debts. So are you ready for those? Do we need this type of businesses? High cost, high labor intensive. Do we need to do such businesses to survive? You need to do your SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat of your businesses right from the top to bottom. Every activity, everything in your business needs to be evaluated, so that you need to find out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, which are your opportunities, which are your threats. Accordingly, you have to reshape your company. The buzzword is reshape your company. Then is your customer can manage without your services? If the answer is yes, then he is not going to stay with you. So you are having a customer base which is not very stable. So if the customer has alternative and he has a better prices, he will go for it. Know your customers. You need to have your KYC. You cannot say that I know him for last 25 years. Past history is no useful. How long he's going to be in the business, nobody knows. So better know your customers based on the mind mapping and the future trends. So these are the 10 golden rules which you need to adopt if you need to be in the business. Evaluation techniques. How do you evaluate? You need to make a very simple profit and loss, forget it. Consider 2020 from your books as not existing. Close your books as of 2019 and keep 2020 as a zero budget or a floating budget year, wherein your target should be reserve versus revenue. I will give you a word which is called reserve versus revenue. With the lockdown, with the slowdown, if you have 12 months of reserve to pay salaries, to pay your bills, pay your customers, pay your suppliers, you don't have to worry, you can survive. The minimum requirement for big and companies who have 12 months of reserves to run without getting money from the customer, if you have those type of money, you are safe and you don't have to worry much. 6 months reserve, you need to tell your team, wake up, work as a team, fix responsibility, give duties and responsibility, make people responsible, sales oriented, cut down costs, do whatever required, and tell them that we have only 6 months to prove ourselves. So let's work hard and smart and intelligent. So if you have 6 months reserve, you are okay. 3 months reserve, these are the companies who are going to take the axe, cut down staff, cut down allowances, long leave, discounts, termination, closing the branches, closing the frills, all that will be done because they have 3 months survival and we don't know when the 3 months will start and when will end. So if you have a reserve less than 3 months, you don't expect. So you are in that company or in that position that you are in for a big surprises. No reserve. If you have no money, you could not survive with credit. You don't have any, if the money doesn't come, you cannot pay the salaries. If the money doesn't come, you cannot pay the rentals. Come on, friends, rethink about your business. Your business may be in the one of those sunset industries where the future is not there. You are not a sunrise setup. You are a sunset company. So in sunset, darkness. So if you are a sunset company and you don't have reserve, then think about the business. You need to do the business? Do you need to continue those type of businesses? People will use the excuse of force measure, act of God, escalation clause, general claim, admin cost cut, revisit all cost expenses. People will start looking at every cost, 20 dirhams ticket, Salik ticket, all will be questioned by finance guy. So you will be having a very unpleasant times. So be prepared for it. It's not that they like to do it, but they have been forced to do it. Train the staff. When I tell people training, people think it's not the training for a Microsoft or you're training for some PhD. You need to train because it is not the survival of the fittest. It is the survival of the quickest. So if you have to be a sprinter, now gone are the marathon days. We need to be a sprinter. In a 100-meter race, you are only have one answer. You need to reach the goal end point. So you are like a sprinter in the current condition. If you are a marathon runner, God bless you. Okay, you need to be a sprinter. Yeah, so let us be a sprinter. Target strategy marketing. Strategy marketing is like Coca-Cola sharing up with pizza, so that if pizza does well, Coca-Cola does well. So you need to align with other partners so that if their business does well, your business do well. So freight and logistic companies needs to work with the customers as in-house freight forwarders, bring down the cost, work with them so that it's not that they have to send quotation, get a quotation. You will decide what cost we can transport it. So you will work more like a consultant, more like an advisor, like a partner. Yeah. So sunrise and sunset, which is a buzzword which you should think about in future. Finally, it's going to be cost, it's going to be speed, it's going to be efficiency, and it's going to be quality. So these are the parameters which will decide whether we are here or not there. Okay, going forward, the way forward for salespersons and people who are in the business is educate your customers. It's not you sell. We were selling products to the customers. We were selling services to the customers. Gone are the days. You need to educate why I should use Zoom. What is the benefit? What is the cost benefit? How to do it? Hold his hand, show him how to do it, how to do a webinar, how to teach him the way. So educate him, engage him. Don't teach him like an old school. Stand with him, be in his own levels, make him, teach him in such a way that he doesn't feel you're like a teacher. You're like a friend, close. So engage, keep him involved, make him, let him make mistakes, correct the mistakes, then go on. Evolve them into his business. That's the buzzword. Educate, engage, and evolve. Don't try to sell. People will not buy. Salesman days are over. There's no need of a salesman. We need to educate, engage, and evolve. Change is the name of the game. Yeah, this is what has been analyzed, and I wish all of you a good time. We all are in the same journey. The path is not different. uh, the purpose of this webinar was to bring in the ideas of people together in one platform, share it through this way. And thanks to people like Sanjay and Capital College, we had a platform where we could speak to a large audience of 200 plus people of different wavelength and thoughts. And there are a lot of thought leaders in our group in this webinar. Individually, I cannot see you all, but I'm thank you to all of you that you all participated in big numbers and listen to mine. And please be sure that these are not some of my own researches. These are individual events. These are decisions, and these are materials shared by the experts. Me and Sanjay had worked in the last few weeks in tabulating information from various industry leaders. Capital College has done more than 20-25 webinars in the last 30 days, wherein they had 30 different industry leaders speaking on different topics. We gathered all informations and collectively came up with the idea that change is the name of the game. So why not we give people some tools, and why not we assist them? So I welcome you all to share your ideas. Maybe some of my points may not have been gone deep into you. Maybe some of your point, maybe you like to dispute it. You may have differentiation about it. All that is part of life. See, one thing we need to realize is uh, after 25 years of marriage, I've realized the best of my times were in the last lockdowns, because 30 days of lockdowns, your family time, your bonding time has been much better than your honeymooning days or courtship days or pre-marriage or post-marriage days. So there is always a positive thing in anything. And now this is going to be the new norm. Social distancing, staying at home is going to be the new norm. So some of us who are in the age group of plus 50, it's time to stay at home and stay with the family, stay healthy, don't fight, be good to them, and start building some new skills of cooking, cleaning, all of us which we have learned now. We have shown some videos in Facebook that we are cooking, we are cleaning, we are washing cars and all that, but that's going to be the norm for the future. So it's not that we have done it out of frustration or out of conditions. It's going to be the new norm. So let's adopt. And the world needs young leaders. Country like India is going to have 60% of the population below the age group of 35. So with this, you will have companies leading by leaders below 40. So if you are above 45, it's time to rewind yourself and start adopting to sunset industries. And if you are above 50, it's time for you to spend time in beaches and creative and innovative things, meditations, and innovative things, business setups, new ideas, and all those things is what you should pursue, not a 9 to 5 job. Yeah. So some of us are in that border where we need to rethink our retire life. I would recommend the Ishikawa, the Japanese concept of living happy and living up to 100 years. when I say 90 and 100 years of living, people say, no, with this current corruption, pollution, and health issues, we are not going to stay. You will be mistaken. Our generation are going to stay 90 plus. So believe me, we have good 25, 30, 40 years yet to live. There will be many more lockdowns, many more slowdown, many more viruses to come. So be prepared and be smart, be healthy, be safe. Give us your reactions, give us your feedback, good, bad, give us. And people who are interested in using this platform and working close with Capital College, please give us your suggestions. People who are from NAFL or who are associated with National Association of Freight and Logistics, please be assured NAFL is here with the members. We are doing everything possible to keep you connected, keep you growing, and we will work with all the stakeholders to ensure that freight and logistic business is survives and the storm and grow. And I all strongly believe logisticians are the tough people. We perform well under pressure. Even during the lockdown, 30 days, many of us worked 30 days working at a remote locations or working from home or anyway, but we still not stopped working. So logisticians are here to stay. They are winners and they are trend setters. So don't worry. We need to readjust, realign, and re-educate ourselves. If you do redesign ourselves, the future is bright. We don't have to repair ourselves. If you don't redesign, we are here for a repair, and repair may be costly or may be redundant. So don't make yourself a scrap. Yeah, they say that if you rest, you get rust. So this is not the time to take rest. It is a if you get rest, you will get rust. So be smart, be safe. Thank you very much. I hope I conveyed my message. Thank you. Any questions? The floor is open.
Well, thank you, Mr. Shankar, for accepting the proposal for coming on board with us. It was truly an enlightening session with all reality check, and I'm sure it's an eye opener for all the entrepreneurs and employers as well. Basically, we are trying to understand where we stand today and what best precautionary measure can be taken to avoid such crisis in future, because we have always taken, environment as for granted, I can say, like, be it Ebola, be it MERS, be it now COVID, and we never think from the perspective that we have to have some reserves and resources, from an organization perspective. So I feel like, it was very enlightening, especially when it comes to crisis management and what companies can do actually. Well, I'm not an business expert. I'm not, I'm not working. I'm not holding any shares in organization. I'm just an employee, and I feel the heat now, what it takes to run the business through, and what are the preventive measures, or what are the SWOT analysis we need to do. So it's really a great job what each one of you all doing. I belong to Capital Team backend, and I would just require all the participants who have come on board with us today. Like, really, I deeply appreciate your presence over here and your time, and I would request you to fill up the link today itself, so that we can disseminate you the participation certificate by day end. So please, you can find the link in the chat box and connect with us. You can also reach us, for availing the videos of Mr. Shankar, which will be available soon on our website of capitalcollege.ae. So stay connected, and please feel free to share your opinions right now. We have 10 minutes allocated for Q&A session. Thank you.
And friends, this has also been a challenge for me, that to keep myself within the time, and also to cover up all these topics. And this could only be possible because of the presentation slides. If it was an extempo meeting, we would probably go around many things, which was not required. And I have received through my phone, WhatsApp, lots of questions from the people who have attended. Some of them, they asked us, okay, in the current conditions, how can we survive, how these job cuts can be avoided. Friends, as I told you, we had three options. Do we have reserves? Is the reserves enough? If the reserves are not enough, job cut is going to be an attitude. But in the job cut, we can use methods like deferred way of job cuts. It's not necessary that you have to give up all the people. we can make them more productive, train them to get more revenues, train them to work out on cost. So that is something which you can do. Some sort of a realignment can be thought about. Some sort of a new markets can be thought about it. And suppose if you are not one of those sunshine industries, then how do you reduce your exposure on the sunset side of businesses? So these type of corrections are one of the way forward. Insurance is another question people have. Many companies have not gone on insurances. So this is something which you guys have to think. Can you protect your business through insurance, security for payment? All this can be thought about it. Yeah. So apart from that, if there is any other question, I have seen in chats a lot of questions. A lot of business in the Middle East have an Africa focus. With flights, passenger movement restricted, what kind of a change do we expect to see in Africa business from the Middle East involved in Africa? See, Africa, yet we have not got the numbers, but I'm sure many of the African countries are currently going through the slowness. Because of the lockdown, the sales have dropped. I know of airlines, I know of large FMCG companies, their outstandings in the month of March and April were running into millions. So because of the payment slowness, many customers are not in a position to deal with Africa. So Africa-centric people, you can do more business in Africa, but the payment is going to be a question. And as you all know, the most important piece of paper which all of us want is currency and dollar. And Africa is short of dollar. With the oil price going so low, or the oil revenue is gone down in Africa big time. So with the result, currencies are low. So you will be in for some payment issues. And some other questions which I saw is all those comfortable, please keep your videos. Then there were questions from various people. I cannot take up all. Cash crops have huge market. Farming will do flourish. Yes, farming will do very well. There is a technology called hyponics or aeronics, which means converting solar energy into bulbs and which can be used. And for your information, in UAE, the farming is growing very big. And the target for UAE is by 2025, UAE wants to be self-sufficient in foods. A lot of vegetables which you are currently getting in the supermarkets are come from greenhouses in UAE. So UAE is spending a huge money on the food supplies and green vegetations. And in the logistic people, I have an example that one of my friend who's running a cold store, because of slackness in business, he has converted the cold store into farming for lettuce. So he's growing lettuce inside his farm thing. Since there is no chicken and beef in this warehouse, he's storing, making time and working on the farming. So yes, farming will do very well. Some people have said, one question, Mr. Shankar, post-COVID, China showed a high sales in car industry. Will it follow across other countries? No. The reason for car sales to go down in other country is because the bank financing, job uncertainty, EMIs will not be paid. So because of too many job loss, the incentive for buying cars will be less. People will be using the public transport and the Ubers. So I have seen more than hundreds of questions. I don't know, is it a lot of enthusiasm or is that some more points needs to be clarified? Then let's get some special practical steps that you share with us to manage the crisis. Yes, there are a lot of steps, and individually also I have made analysis. I have also came out with a couple of other videos, which is called the cost drivers, which companies should look in order to survive the storm. So there are some cost drivers which I can share with you. You can send an email at Shankar, SHANKAR, @nafl.ae. I could share the presentation wherein I have identified the cost drivers which will impact. And the buzzword is convert your fixed cost into variable cost. Reduce your fat. Not only in the body, even in the company, you have to reduce your fat. Be lean. Lean management is the name of the game. So we have to be lean. So we need to not exercise for the body. We need to exercise our companies. Last month performance was okay. Then this month has to be better. So what else can we do? So that is something which we need to do. And then I saw some people asking questions. Experience will innovate more life, but I don't accept of everything hand over to the youngsters. Yes, I know it's a very hard way, because whether we like it or not, it has been proved. Mukesh Ambani, with all his might and strength, he had to hand over a company of Jio to a youngster who made the biggest fortune for the entire Indian industry, Jio. And today, Jio, 10% of the stake is taken over by a youngster from Facebook. So they have understand the synergy. Yeah. So experience and wisdom will be there, but it is the youngsters who have the zest, who have the geek mentality, and who knows the trend. So they will be the one who will running the rules. So there is no harm in handing over the companies to youngsters. They are the future. They will run. If you look at the leaders in the world, some of the good leaders, even in COVID, we have seen the ladies who are running the countries have run Corona better, managed Corona better, and some young leaders of the world run it well. Women empowerment, young leaders, all this is going to be the norm. Yeah. And so I can see in the chat box a lot of questions. I will be more than happy to answer some of these questions. And if you still not receive an answer from me, just send me an email or WhatsApp. And I use these medias quite extensively. And I would also like to share some of my friends who are from the NAFL. NAFL is doing the similar webinar, and we will also be having similar websites with Capital College in relating to training and the new methodologies. And I will discuss with Sanjay for more topics, and we will have more sessions. So if any of you are interested in sharing some of these things, please be in touch with us. Yeah. Any other thing? Planet Earth to survive, global consumption, so many things. Anything, Sanjay, from your side?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I saw you addressing the question, so I didn't say much. But one thing that you said was very valid, which was that the world is only buying what it needs.
Yeah.
And hence the global economy is entering a recession. It's quite true, isn't it? If you think about it, it's true and funny at the same time. Because we buy Rolex watches, but it still tells the time. We buy Mercedes cars, although it takes us from point A to point B. Producing these things is only leading to more and more carbon emissions and more pollution, but it's good for the economy.
True.
You know, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword if you think about it. So absolutely right. And I agree very strongly with the other point that you said was about education to employment. I think that is absolutely the buzzword today, E to E. So all you people today who are in the group here, who have taken time on a working day to be a part of this, thank you very much. And I think the fact that you're here is you still believe in growing and in learning. And Shankarji, thank you very much again for giving us your insight. It was more brilliant than I had anticipated. To be honest, I knew it would be awesome, but it was really good. It was spot on. And myself, and thank you, Vartika, for doing all this arrangements in the back end. I think it was really good. Lots of questions I can see on the side. Just one thought, guys, please, there's a link that is being shared. Please fill it out so that we can, it's automated certification process. We've done a lot of these webinars and people still email us and ask us to send a certificate. And that's not practical because we do run 30, 40 a week. So it's very difficult to keep up. The video of this particular event will be on our website, capitalcollege.ae, under #business talks. It will be there tomorrow morning. I think now it'll, by the time we receive from Zoom and all that. So please feel free to download it. Yes, I'll share a link down here, no problem. And that's it. So if there's any other questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. And otherwise we were done in the next 2 minutes. Thank you, Shankarji.
Thank you. And thank you for all of you to take my invitations, come on board, and some of the invitations from Capital. I appreciate all of you. And it's a learning for all of us. So give us more insight, more ideas. And Mr. Sanjay from NAFL, we will also like to associate with you for another webinar, which we will be talking about the changes coming out in our freight and logistic business. Because
please.
Because this is very useful for all the industries, because with all the e-commerce and e-based things, logistics is going to be vital. So many of our people have good speakers, good contributors. We can do it. And I also like to invite some of you to come up with some CSR initiatives. We at NAF are looking at new CSR initiatives, how we can help the people who are affected on COVID, or in case somebody lost a job, how is there any way, any mechanism or any chat where we can communicate, pass on the CVs. So these type of help, any form of CSR initiatives are more than welcome. So please suggest us, and you can always reach me on my mobile. I'm always connected with WhatsApp and all the social media. So please come up with any ideas and suggestions.
Thank you, guys. We are looking at across the industries also. So Shankar bhai, please let us know what dates are suitable for your team.
Yeah.
We can also host more than one speaker at one time. So we can do, 2 or 3 or 4 speakers. It really doesn't matter. So we can actually arrange all that.
Okay.
If you want to do a panel or anything informative, things like that. On the 5th of May, we have the CEO of Holiday Inn who will be here addressing the hospitality related challenges and things. So if anybody's interested in hospitality, please feel free to join that as well. And I think this is a time we wrap up. So if with your permission, thank you guys once again. The link is there. Please copy it. Don't send an email because it gets very complicated. Okay. So for the last time, I'll just post the email, quickly copy it and kindly fill it out. And thank you once again for being a part of this. And we hope to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.